Hello Marvel fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. San Diego Comic-Con is happening next week, and this will be the first time in a long time San Diego Comic-Con is just as big as it used to be. We're no longer worrying that much about restrictions or cramming people into a place and just getting them all touchy, sweaty, and sticky. And well, with Marvel Studios having a panel July 23rd at 5 p.m. PST, and it's being branded a mega panel, Marvel fans are expecting a whole lot of big, huge announcements, stuff that is gonna blow our mind. And wouldn't you know, there happened to be a major leak posted online that details every announcement from casting, Disney Plus series, big event movies, and it's gone so viral online. Of course, you guys have been tagging me endlessly in it, wanting me to talk about it. So that's exactly what I'll be doing here for you guys, is breaking down this major leak for all these huge announcements Marvel is supposedly gonna announce. I really want to know your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think of this leak? Do you believe them to be true? Are you someone who enjoys reading these leaks for possible announcements? Would really love to know from you guys down below. Alright, so just to reiterate, I want to say I think a bunch of these leaks are completely BS and are not going to be true at all. However, with that said, I'm not going to lie to you. As soon as they said there were some leaks and I went to read them, I got excited, I got giddy, I got all smiley. I was like, oh, this would be awesome. And I think that's why a lot of people are spreading it around, because some of these things in here sound cool and kind of go together with rumors that we've already heard on what projects Marvel Studios is working on. So as we're going through this, I'm just going to tell you what I think is true, what is complete BS, and I'd love for you to do the same in the comments. Alright, so the first thing they have said on here is a Deadpool announcement. They have it that Ryan Reynolds will be attending to announce the next Deadpool movie, which is entitled Deadpool 3. Director Sean Levy will send in a video. And there's going to be little details like this throughout this entire leak that make it seem so plausible, because they're so specific on who's showing up, how they're announcing things, why people aren't showing up, that I think lends some credibility. But I'll be honest with you, I kind of believe this one. We have been hearing non-stop updates with Deadpool 3 from the writers of the movie and Ryan Reynolds himself. They've already confirmed the director. We know this movie's happening. They might as well go ahead and give us a small update, even if that means telling us what the title is, because yeah, I kind of believe they won't call it Deadpool 3. Even though Disney now owns the rights to those old Deadpool movies and this new one will still technically be a sequel to those, I still think Marvel will want to rebrand it as their own thing, and giving it a little subtitle and dropping the 3 I think is a smart thing to do. So you know what? I'm gonna say that one I think is real. Next one they have here is for Black Panther, letting us know that the director and cast members, including Namor, Tenoch Huerta, and Dominic Thorne, who's playing Riri Williams, will be present and bring the first trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That one I believe 100%. And the main reason is because it's time for them to start marketing their next big movie, and that would be Black Panther. And I'm so curious to how this trailer is going to look, if they're even going to show a Black Panther in the trailer. They'll probably give us a look at Riri Williams in her suit and Namor, but that's not going to be enough to just want me to go in there. I need to see some sort of Black Panther action in a movie called Black Panther. So far, even though I'm calling these leaks BS, 2 for 2. I believe these 2 so far. Next up, they say that we will have a small update on Secret Invasion. None of the cast will be present, but they will bring some footage. I could see that one maybe happening just because Secret Invasion has already been filming for a while, and they probably just want to create some awareness for their Disney Plus shows. So I don't see that being out of the realm of possibility. Here's then, though, where we get into some ones that might be completely made up. We have an update on Blade. For one, they say cast members for the upcoming Blade movie will show up. People like Marshall Ali, Kit Harington, Aaron Pieri, Milan Ray, Bazem Tariq, that they're all going to show up and give some news on the movie, but the big reveal will be Anthony Starr will play Dracula in the MCU. And that right there would be an absolutely amazing casting choice. Homelander as Dracula for the MCU? That would be so cool. It would also make sense that they finally give us a Blade update, because the first time they announced Blade was at Comic-Con, so it only makes sense for them to update us again at Comic-Con. But the reason I'm going to call BS is because reporters have pointed out that when Blade is filming, The Boys Season 4 will also be filming at the exact same time, meaning it'll be pretty hard for Anthony Starr to be switching back and forth from sets. I know there's going to be people in the comments that say they can make it work or they can figure something out, but I think that's just wishful thinking. Right now, we got to tame our expectations on that one, and I'm gonna call BS. Then we got here an update for the Marvels that I think right now has become very highly anticipated after the ending of Miss Marvel. They have it here that Brie, Imani, and Tiana, those are the 3 the Marvels that'll be showing up there: Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. But then hold your dang horses, because they say here Anson Mount will reprise his role as Black Bolt. Jodie Turner-Smith is apparently joining as Medusa in the post-credits of the movie, setting up Universal Inhumans as a big cosmic story going forward. What is going on now? This leak was all about announcing shows and movies for San Diego Comic-Con, and now they're just randomly putting in what the post-credit scene is for the Marvels? That's where I smell BS. But man, does that not get me all excited. Black Bolt coming back, him finally getting some MCU justice. There's this whole narrative going around that Kevin Feige hates the Inhumans when I don't think that's necessarily the case. Still though, that is like a big reach. I'm gonna have to call BS on this one. I don't think it's real, but man, I would love it if it is. Here's one that's got everyone jumping up and down. An announcement on World War Hulk. They have it here. Was originally going to be a movie. It is now being turned into a 4-part series for Disney Plus that may have a small theatrical release. This could possibly be the big Avengers event before Secret Wars with many big characters. Again, such specific, wild, outrageous details that make you think, this could possibly be real then, right? We have heard that the MCU is trying to set up a World War Hulk storyline. This is basically in the comics after Hulk was sent out to another planet and shunned out by the Illuminati, he comes back to Earth wanting revenge from everybody that kicked him out. Now obviously the MCU has not set it up that way, so the story will play out very differently, but in the end it looks like it'll be a bunch of heroes versus Hulk-like characters. That's why I think the She-Hulk series will be very important to set that up. But man, if this is true, it's bummer to hear it's not going to be a movie, but it makes sense, because if you know the behind the scenes issues going on, Universal owns the distribution rights to Hulk, and that's one of the main reasons Disney can't make a solo Hulk movie and instead can only put Hulk in team-up movies like Ragnarok or the Avenger films. But when you got Disney Plus and you can dump it on there not needing to distribute it around the world, there's a loophole that works for good old Kevin Feige. I'm also even liking that it's going to be a 4-part series, because that just means it is a movie, it's just cut into 4 parts. The theatrical release makes me interested, where they release every episode in theaters and then you would have to go to the theater every weekend to finish watching the show? Or would it just be the final episode that it goes to theaters? Again, I'm just gonna call BS. It is too out there and wild, and that's such a huge thing to reveal when I'm like, how long is this Comic-Con panel? Isn't it only like an hour long? And we're going through so much stuff that I think by now it would make it a 2-3 hour panel. Next up, they say here Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they'll have the cast show up and they'll show some footage. I actually kind of believe that one. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is finished filming. It kind of makes sense that they want to go ahead and tease that, since that's something people already know is coming. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, also that they'll have some footage from the actors, and that Jonathan Majors will send in a video as Kang. This is where these leaks are like getting too good to be true, because even if you remember, when Marvel does bring up all their confirmed projects, not every single one of them brings footage. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any Ant-Man footage and maybe just some concept art. Next, we have the Wonder Man series that we know is coming and is in the works, because the Hollywood Reporter has reported on it, where they say that we'll get the announcement that Henry Golding will play Simon Williams. I don't think that's a bad choice. Good looking guy, and this character is supposed to be an actor, so that would kind of fit in with his looks. But the biggest shocker to me about this Wonder Man news is they're gonna bring back Evan Peters' Ralph Bohner into this series. This leak is so ridiculous, I kind of believe it, because if you remember in WandaVision, Ralph Bohner is an actor, and if Wonder Man is an actor in the MCU on Earth, it would make sense he's friends with other actors. This show could also be an origin of not only how he gets his Wonder Man powers, but how he becomes a big celebrity, and maybe Ralph Bohner's like his actor roommate. Still, I think some fans will just never let go that this was supposed to be Quicksilver, and it turned into a boner joke. We have an update here with Daredevil saying that Marvel will title the show Daredevil Man Without Fear, which is in reference to one of his comic series. They'll confirm Charlie Cox will be starring in it, and then the thing that was getting a lot of people upset is that they were going to recast Elektra with Isaiah Gonzalez, kind of letting you know what the actors meant when they said it will technically be the same Daredevil show from the past 3 seasons, but also a bit of a reboot. That could be exactly what they mean, but that would be really surprising. They would just randomly recast one of the characters when it looks like they're bringing back Daredevil, Kingpin, but then not Elektra. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I just don't know if that one is true. But then again, with everything I just said to you that is supposed to happen in this like 1 hour panel, so many reveals and trailers to get through, they're of course going to do the Kevin Feige thing of one more big reveal just to close it out, just like they did with Blade last time they were at Comic-Con, and the big reveal would be the announcement of who Professor X is and Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, saying here Giancarlo Esposito would be Charles Xavier, and then Glenn Powell will be Scott Summers, Cyclops. Now you're playing with my emotions here. These two would be amazing casting choices for those two characters, and I would lose my mind if that turned out to be true. Giancarlo Esposito is an icon, is a legend. Any role he plays, I think he would just be perfect in, and I could definitely see him as a great Charles Xavier. He's got that voice and intelligence behind him. But Glenn Powell is Scott Summers. Like, I just saw the dude in Top Gun. Oh yeah, he's got the ego, he's got the charm, he's got that handsome boy face. This guy as Cyclops, oh yeah, he's gonna be the leader of the X-Men. That's one thing the Fox movies I thought kind of did my boy dirty in. They never really gave Cyclops a spotlight, but it feels like if Marvel brings him in, they're gonna do it. So I'm hoping that's true, but again, that's just like, it's just a crazy random leak. But just because I would love it so much, I want it to be true. I'm gonna manifest it for us. Ending it off here with something that won't be announced at Comic-Con, but apparently is gonna be announced at D23, and is also going around like wildfire, is the apparent cast for the Fantastic Four. They have it here: Jamie Dornan as Reed Richards, Amanda Seyfried as Sue Storm, Joe Keery as Johnny Storm. Steven Spielberg is set to direct the movie, and if he gets locked in, he will cast a Ben Grimm. Look, would I love this to be the Fantastic Four cast? Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid cast right there. I wouldn't mind that at all, especially Joe Keery. I think he would be awesome as the Human Torch. But I don't really believe it because a lot of journalists have already come out and disproven this one. They've confirmed Steven Spielberg is nowhere near in talks with Marvel. And I mean, Steven Spielberg has gone out openly and talked against Marvel and how he doesn't like what they're doing. So I kind of find it hard to believe he would then get roped into it and want to be part of that universe, especially a universe that is so restricted on their stories and what they're allowed to do. I can't see someone as big as Steven Spielberg wanting to play ball with Feige when he could do whatever he wants, but he has to stay within the realm of what Feige's plans are. So I'm gonna call BS on that one, but still, we are extremely close to finding out who the Fantastic Four are by the end of this year, y'all. Still, those were some leaks you guys wanted me to talk about and touch upon here. I brought them up. I'm talking about them in a week. This video will be completely useless because I bet you 90% of things wouldn't have come true. But just to get some of y'all excited and hyped for Comic-Con, let's just see what happens. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, but as always, my name's Chris. Take care.